Alright, we are on the play in match 2 of this league, with Rug Delver, of course. This hand looks like a keep to me. We've got a blue source in Flooded Strand and a Serum Visions, as well as, well, the hand is just otherwise playable. We've got some removal, 3 pieces of removal actually, if bolt effects are good. We have 2 threats in Goyf and Mandrills. The real question here is whether we're fetching out a Steam Vents or a Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool works a lot better if we just want to slam a creature right away. Steam Vents obviously better if we need to interact. Unfortunately, we have no idea what our opponent's on. Well, I guess we have some idea because there is a metagame, so I'm going to assume they're not playing something totally out of left field. Just about any standard deck, let's say. We're going to not expect Temur Energy. That's a standard thing these days. We're going to crack this Flooded Strand, and I think Steam Vents wins out in this spot because we're hoping to hit our second land drop. Well, hey, there's the second land drop. We're going to throw the Foothills on top. I actually almost want to put the island underneath it. Technically, it doesn't matter if we're cracking the Foothills anyway, so we may as well give ourselves the option there. Oh, wow, our opponent... Oh, and they're playing Infect? That's great. Our opponent seems exceedingly polite, and they're playing Infect, so that's pretty great. I enjoy playing against Infect, and because of that, we're going to start off with this Wooded Foothills. Simply Tarfire the Glistener Elf. We're going to save the Forked Bolt in case they have 2 creatures on their next turn, and we're going to keep that Foothills uncracked because we have an island on top of the deck. It paid off, guys. It paid off. Oh, Spellskite. Actually, that makes Forked Bolt extremely good. Our opponent is delightfully chatty. We're going to get a basic forest here. Actually, we're playing against Infect. Do I want the extra red source? I don't think I need the blue source. I might go with the red source, though. That could come up. Is that more likely to come up than the 2 points of life? I'd assume so. I don't think either is especially likely, but I mean, hey. Here's a Tarmogoyf. We're going to hold up Dismember. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have shocked there. That makes Dismember at least a little worse. Probably something I should have thought about. Dismember probably just taking out Spellskite here. Or we're just going to do a lot of nothing. Do I actually want to Dismember the Spellskite? I might. Might not, but I might. I feel like I'd rather force them to have to deal with it. But if we Dismember now, we don't have to have the mana later, so I think I'm just going to go for it. Also puts an artifact in the bin. Definitely relevant. Right now we have Snap Tarfire up, which is not something I really want to put down. I do want to attack with my 6/7. That's something I'm interested in. That is one of my hobbies, attacking with 6/7s. No blocks, the opponent going to take a bunch, and here, I kind of want to slam Mandrills. I wonder if you guys can hear me adjusting my hat nervously while I think about the play. I don't want to delve away Tarfire. So if I'm playing Mandrills, I'm going to also cast Visions. Since we'll only have the 1 mana up anyways, can I sort the graveyard? I can't. So the question is Mandrills or Snapcaster Mage? I want to say Mandrills. So we're going to Visions. We found a mana leak. We found another mana leak. The Foothills seems pretty good. The Mana Leak seems less good, given that we have 1 in hand. And now we have to consider that we have the option of just holding up Mana Leak. I think I'd rather play the Mandrills. It's pretty unlikely the opponent punishes us here. We're going to tap out totally. 1, 2... Actually, can I undelve that Visions? I can't. Well, we're going to do this the hard way. I want 1 Visions. I'd prefer to keep a land. It's gonna be either or. We'll get rid of the Dismember, and then we pay 2 mana. That's fine. We're gonna have most of the card types here. Goyf going down to a lowly 5/6. They do say that Goyf and Mandrills are a huge nombo. The internet hates these two creatures together, which I find pretty hilarious. Whenever you're reading say on Reddit, earlier on r/spikes, Wild Defiance. Wow, trying to make my burn spells bad. Do we have lethal here? I just need to do some math. The opponent's tapped out. That's a 5/6. That's a 4/4. That's 9. The opponent ends up at 5. However, wait, we fetch. We fetch. Goif's a 6/7. We can do it. We have the other red source. Oh yeah, we got this. We got this, guys. We're going to swing for 10. Looks like mono green Infect. Knock the opponent down to 4. Let's Forked Bolt them. 2 damage at them. But yeah, on r/spikes earlier, there was a post about 4-color Death Shadow. It was Temur in black. We'll just flashback the Forked Bolt. Let that resolve. And they had a 1 of Hooting Mandrills in the list, as well as their 4 Tarmogoyfs. I believe they also ran a 1 of Tasigur, so they had 2 Delve threats. And one of the comments, which you are sure to see whenever you have Goyf and a Delve threat in the same list, one of the comments was making sure that the person playing the list knew that Goyf plus Delve threats is a huge nombo. Like, guys, it's okay. You don't need your entire graveyard for Goyf, and you don't need the entire graveyard for Mandrills. Especially when you're running a bunch of Thought Scour, which people who play Goyf and Mandrills are inevitably doing. I just find it funny. Let's board against Infect. We are not expecting this matchup, so I have nothing here for it. Fortunately, I have an idea as to how to fight Infect. It involves bringing in this mountain. We saw main deck Wild Defiance. We're going to bring in this Destructive Revelry. Ancient Grudge also comes in because I'm assuming they're playing Inkmoth Nexus. If they're not playing Inkmoth Nexus, and Ancient Grudge is a dead card, that's fantastic because our opponent is not playing Inkmoth Nexus, which is one of, if not the best cards in Infect. Pyroclasm's great against a bunch of small creatures. Flash Freeze doesn't seem fantastic. I'm still going to be operating under the assumption that our opponent's playing blue-green, because I do think blue-green is probably better than straight green. Flash Freeze obviously gets better against straight green. It might even be playable against mono green. I'm not sure. We'll throw this over in a maybe pile, say. Can I... Oh, we can move it farther over. Look at that. We're going to board out a Mandrills, board out a Savage Knuckleblade. I know I say this all the time, but Savage Knuckleblade is slow against fast combo decks. I like the card, I really do. I promise you guys, I like big knucks. I don't want to tap out on 3 against Infect. That's all. I'm not bringing in Huntmaster for the same kind of reason. Huntmaster takes it another step because it's 4 mana, but come on. I don't want to tap out on 3, okay? Don't yell at me, please. I might board out another Mandrills. We were very aggressive that game. We don't actually need to be. I wouldn't mind boarding out a Traverse the Ulvenwald. Vapor Snag can go too. I think I'd rather have more permanent answers than Vapor Snag. Traverse, we're not really aiming to go long. We're just kind of sort of ending up going long because, well, that's all we can do. I think I could live with boarding out a Thought Scour. Maybe I keep this Traverse, board out another Thought Scour, but that's going to hurt Disrupting Shoal. Let's do a count. 4 Delvers, 4 Visions, that's 8, 9, 10, 14. I want more than that. I want at least 15. Can I do better in 13 seconds? I'm not boarding out any Bolt effects. I don't think we're going to do better. We'll go with Vapor Snag instead of Thought Scour. That's probably worth it. Vapor Snag doesn't look great against Infect. I'm pretty sure our opponent's asking about our deck. I might legit link them to the channel. That sounds fun. We're gonna mulligan because we don't have any lands. This one we'll keep. We've got interaction, we've got Goyf, we've got mana leak. Looks good. Denial doesn't look that great. Could be good. I don't really want to keep it. We already have mana leak, which is a counter. We've got nothing to do, so let's allow our opponent to take their... Oh, that's the problem. We're in the chat still. The accursed chat. So they are playing Inkmoth Nexus. Confirmed. What do we got here? It's a land. Well, I'd rather have a Stubborn Denial than that, but I mean, I didn't really want Stubborn Denial anyway, so I guess that's not a loss at all. Naturally, we're going to send it over to our opponent because we have nothing to do. They're just going to make land drops, probably engineer a board state in which we can't answer their threats. Our opponent likes our deck. Okay, so in this spot, I don't really want to cast Serum Visions here since we'll be completely unable to interact. That seems not so great. I'd rather hold up Mana Leak. Definitely not ideal. We do want to be putting pressure on the table. Our opponent got a Breeding Pool. Looks like it's blue-green. Blue-green Infect. That's a deck we don't see so often. I like playing against Infect. I know I say that a lot, but I do miss it. It is also a good matchup, so I also miss that part. It's a combo deck, so we are generally favored against combo. And it's a creature-based combo deck with creatures that die to Lightning Bolt. That's like our favorite combination of things. It's a combo deck, that's good. They go off with creatures, that means all of our interaction is live, that's good. Vulnerable to Lightning Bolt. Please, please. Now, I'm not really worried about the opponent doing anything at instant speed, so we're going to fetch here, get the other Steam Vents, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we may as well. If our opponent is playing Blood Moon, well, damn. Don't know if I want to tap out. I actually don't, given that... I don't know if having Mana Leak up is anything relevant. I guess it makes it harder for the opponent to kill us all in one shot. I'm considering not playing Goyf this turn. I don't really like not playing Goyf this turn, but I'm considering it. Because that means we're not going to die on their turn, which is something I do enjoy. If they have land, animate, Inkmoth, Groundswell, we're probably in pretty bad shape. I'm pretty sure that's lethal. Groundswell, I believe Groundswell is the one... if you cast it in your main phase, it's +5/+5 instead of +2/+2? Maybe it's +4/+4 instead of +2/+2. I probably should have shocked to cast Serum Visions there. Our opponent likes our deck. I like this opponent. Hopefully we can crush them. Our opponent with a second Inkmoth casting stuff. Well, that's getting Mana Leaked. That's going to make Forked Bolt quite bad. Oh, I tapped the wrong color. Whoops. Don't like that that's an option, but what are you gonna do? Oh, they have the Pierce? They have the Pierce. Well, at least our opponent's tapped out. Is that good for us? Does that do anything for us? I believe that means we're dead, but I'll shock. It seems likely that we're dead. I kind of want to just tap out here because we are dead. I don't know how important bluffing is right now. I really want to get this Delver on the table and cast... Okay, I'm going to sequence properly. We're going to start off with Serum Visions. I can at least do that. Tarfire on top. That doesn't help us because of Wild Defiance. Might help grow Goyfs. Definitely helps grow Goyfs. Also transforms Delver. Don't think we want the 4th Goyf. We're going to tap out here. If the opponent has us dead, we're dead. We can't interact anyways, so the only value in not tapping out is the bluff. Obviously, the bluff has a non-zero value, but I also want to get our stuff on board. So if the opponent's hand is not great, oh hey, a Blighted Agent, that we can deal with, sort of. It's a little awkward because of the Wild Defiance. We're going to reveal that. Probably just send it right at our opponent's face. Wild Defiance is going to make it so that Blighted Agent does not care about our spot removal. That's pretty unfortunate. The opponent animating Inkmoth. Oh, they might be using Pendelhaven to trade with Delver of Secrets. I can't imagine... Yeah, they had to be actually going for that, right? So we're going to let that happen. While we're still in blockers, we Tarfire the face. Grow that Tarmogoyf. We don't really have a reason not to grow the Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf has 0 damage on it, so I believe I just want to cast this Pyroclasm and deal with the Blighted Agent, put them on 1 threat. How good is putting them on 1 threat versus playing the second 5/6? The 5/6 sounds really good. I think we do that, tap out. Well, I mean, we're basically tapped out again regardlessly. The reason I don't really care that they have a 5/6, sorry, that they have a second Infect threat, is that it doesn't really do anything extra for them. They have 1 threat regardlessly that we can't deal with, which means the opponent needs a bunch of pump to kill us. And getting rid of the 1 Infect, I don't think is as valuable as playing out the Tarmogoyf. The fact that our opponent played a Verdant Catacombs makes me very happy, because it means it's unlikely that they have what they need to finish the game. They Pendelhavened the Blighted Agent. Blighted Agent gets in for 2. Just 2. That's fantastic. That makes me quite happy. Here's a Glistener Elf. This Pyroclasm's going to be great. We're going to play this. Bobble's fantastic. Bobble means they might even animate the Inkmoth Nexus. If they do, I'm just going to be so happy. The opponent's got a fetch looking at their top card. Not very valuable. We have a Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Okay. That informs our decisions. We're going to get in for a bunch. I mean, it doesn't actually help. Snapcaster Mage, not super relevant. I guess it means we can snap Mana Leak for whatever value that has. If they fetch and shock here... No, they're just getting a Dryad Arbor. That's fine. Looks like they don't want to die. So, question... how good is Snapcaster Mage? Do I want Snap Tarfire? I don't think so. Neither of these Goyfs is dying anytime soon. Red. Red. In this spot, I think we want to deal with the Blighted Agent just because there's not really any opportunity cost to doing it. If you guys don't mind taking your eyes off of the screen for a moment, I'm going to hook this person up with the glory that is the channel you are currently watching. I believe that URL's fine. It says view as subscriber. I don't know much about stuff, so I think that's okay. I mean, that's the way I got the link to put on Tapped Out, so I'm assuming that's fine. That resolves. We're going to give up priority. Are we giving up priority? I thought it was a pretty good pyro. I mean, there was a non-zero amount of opportunity cost there because we did draw the Snapcaster Mage. However, because of Wild Defiance, Snapcaster Mage, not very valuable here. Flashing back a removal spell, not going to do much. Bolt Snap Bolt will do much. We're going to swing with both. They animate the Ink Moth. And it looks like Bolt Snap Bolt going to be very good this match. Pendelhaven, sure, they're trying to get some extra Infect on the Tarmogoyf. Growing their dude. That's fine. That's actually oh, Apostle's Blessing. Growing it via Wild Defiance while simultaneously ensuring that the Ink Moth Nexus survives combat. I like that line quite a bit out of our opponent. But alas, Bolt Snap Bolt does it again. They did flood out a bit. That is definitely a thing. Anyways, that's match 2 of this league. We're 2-0 in the league. 2-0 against Blue-Green Infect. A good matchup that I am pretty happy to see. Not just because it's a good matchup, but I also just enjoy the gameplay of interactive deck versus Infect. It makes for fun times like these. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.